All right, welcome to episode number 5 of Chronicles of the Average Guy. I'm your host. We're going to kick things off with wrestling this time around. Independent wrestling, GCW. Excuse me, I'm having a little bit of a Coca-Cola tonight just to try to keep me awake or put me to sleep. But here we go. Nonetheless, was invited to GCW. My brother, big shout out to him. Our friend Miguel went as well. It was Miguel, my brother, and myself. Man, if you haven't been to any of these things, go ahead and support your local independent wrestling. These men and women are busting their butts off for your entertainment, and it was something. It was really, really something. GCW, which is Game Changer Wrestling, formerly known as Jersey Championship Wrestling, JCW. Just a little bit of a history lesson there. I'll go into further details in the future. I don't want to do that right now. I just want to talk about what I saw, what the experience was about, and taking it all in as a fan of wrestling. There was 10 matches. There was a few matches that really, really stood out. The opening match, which was Starboy Charlie versus Man Like Jerez. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. European wrestler. Dude, these guys went back and forth. It was pretty effing crazy. I want to show you guys a clip here if I can. Hopefully it comes out pretty good. Let's see here. Hopefully... Well, let me unmute that. There we go. All right. Oh, I think this is where he gives him the elbows, and then yeah, just wait. Like nothing big happens. I think. Yeah, it is. Which was good. It was a good escape, you know. Looking at this, it's really dangerous. You know, you got to trust your opponent inside the ring as well as outside the ring. And somebody's screaming elbow right there. So yeah, that's what happened. It keeps going a little bit, but nothing really happens. So let me show you this one. There we go. As you guys can see. Ouch. Damn. Bumps, everybody. Those hurt. Not as easy as it looks. Now this shit doesn't look easy at all. Holy shit. Ooh, that is... Wow. So, yeah, you know, that first match really took my breath away after a few beers, too. You know, you get all into it. You're really close. I don't know. You really can't tell with that footage, but we're basically 2 rows behind the actual ring. There is no barricade, I guess, for people's safety. So if, you know, S hits the fan, you know, just take cover. And then one cool thing was... excuse me. Let me see if I can find it. Hopefully I can give you the right video, and if it's not too long. But yeah. Got Matt Cardona versus Effie here. Let me see. Oh, yeah.
Finger his ass!
I just heard that. Okay. Finger his ass. All right. Let's see if it's this one. Yeah, I think this one's pretty long. Let me fast forward. Oh my god, I just ruined it. But yeah. Those sparkling boots were kind of a dead giveaway if you're a wrestling fan. And that was a pretty cool moment right there. So, damn green screen. So just people just marking out, just kind of knowing who he is. I mean, looking at those boots, you know, it was Chris Jericho. Whoa. Judas effect. People going crazy for that type of stuff, and yeah, it just. Oh, let me bring that back up. What the heck happened there? My little notes here, so when I talk to you guys, put that to the side. There we go. And then that was the second match, which was really, really good. And then Sydney Akeem versus Fuego del Sol, former AEW superstar. Sydney Akeem, he was in NXT. I don't watch too much WWE, unfortunately. Eh. Apparently, from what I'm told, the Bloodline storyline is really great. Okay, just nepotism, not my thing. But he was known as Reggie. Sorry, I'm going back to Sydney Akeem here. Don't want to not talk about him, and the wrestler Fuego del Sol. I really enjoyed this match. To me personally, I thought the first match that started things off that night on Saturday was really, really great. My second best match of the night, it goes to Sydney Akeem and Fuego del Sol. They just put on a great match. They gave these guys time. I think it lasted about more than 10 minutes. And it was just really, 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 really awesome. And hopefully I can let me see if these things can go into extra large icons, because kind of hard to tell. When I was recording on my phone, some of these things don't translate well when I transfer them over to my computer here. But hopefully this is a good example of what we witnessed there last night. So, some really, really good stuff here. And that was basically the third match. Fourth match was the Gabbage Baddies versus the Stoner Brothers. Stoner Bros. Blah, can't even speak right now. It was Gabbage Daddies, Alec Price and Cole Radrick, and the Stoner Brothers, Rick Scott and Scott Rock Stoner. Oof, almost messed that up. But this was the funny thing, and they were actually getting stoned in the fucking ring. Talk about gimmick wrestling. That was, yeah. People chanting, "This is wrestling."
All right, now pass that shit.
To be honest, they did pass that, and I witnessed a few people who got off on that, which was fine. A funny little story was that when it came over to our side, our section started smoking, and then security was like, "Oh, I see you guys lighting it all up." We were trying to explain to the security guard that the wrestlers themselves had lit up this joint, and it got passed out to the front, and then it made its way over here. But he swears on his own volition that, "Oh, we had a lighter and we lit everything up." But shout out to my brother's friend Eric. He talked to the security guard, and after like a good back and forth, we weren't like offended or anything. We were just trying to explain it to the security guards. One was a female, one was a male, and yeah, things got cleared up. After that, it was pretty cool. So, the things that can happen at a wrestling event, and I believe these guys have a podcast as well, and they were doing it too. Just gotta put my face in there, like, the women wrestling. That match was. Oop, let's see there. That was after that. It was Brooke Havoc, who won over Dulce Tormenta and Zara Zacher. It was a triple threat match. Shout out to these ladies. They put on a great wrestling match. it was a sight to behold. I do have a clip. Today's just going to be wrestling, so I'm just going to show you that because I'm telling you, these people put their bodies on the line for our entertainment, and it looks so cool. It looks really awesome. Flashy gear. I think she. Yeah, it was early on in the match, so I knew this wasn't going to finish that quickly. This knee looks amazing. Oh, good high knee. I like that. That was pretty cool. Even though the one in the black and white won, they put on a great match. And then there was this like a Bloodsport type kind of match with oh my god, and he's the New Japan Pro Wrestling, Josh Barnett. There we go, New Japan Pro Wrestling announcer with Kevin Kelly. Let me see that right there.
Tap him, tap him.
That was a hard zoom. So they're grappling, they're doing their stuff, and it was pretty interesting to see because you had women's wrestling, you had like this type of kind of like a mixed martial arts display, and it was like a variety show, which was really really great. We were just really getting into it. It was really fun. There was other matches. The one worthy of note was the main event. Let me see if I can find that clip. Let me see here. Matthew Justice right there versus Dr. Retracted. And this guy gets my Modelo. Yeah. I'm just kind of talking to him. I offered my help. Told him if I wanted to take that little trash can lid on my head, and he was like, "Yeah, next time."
You got this, buddy. You got this. You got this. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Get out of the way, get out of the way, get out of the way. You wanted the drink, fuck. You wanted the fucking drink. He's like, let me smash his head with the fucking drink, and I didn't give it to him. God damn it.
So that happened. Yeah. Kind of getting a little too involved in there. You know, these wrestlers are people. I think Matthew Justice, he didn't get upset with me or anything. You know, everybody's telling me to back up, but he didn't want my drink. You know, he took a sip of it. He should have used it against the opponent, Dr. Redacted, and I guess he didn't do it. But other than that, it was pretty cool. The experience, the ambiance. It's like, you know, it's just like an underground thing. It's very intense. Some of these people really, really do go out of the way to talk a lot of smack to the wrestlers. But you know, give it up to the wrestlers. They're very professional. They stay in character, and they don't let some of this stuff get to them. Yeah. And then we had like had a good time. Not bad. I do want to go see these guys one more time. I believe they're back in April, if I'm not mistaken, or February. GCW. But wherever you're watching, you know, it's different. It's not WWE. It's not for the faint of heart sometimes, because it did get bloody at one point, but not as much blood. But yeah, it was a satisfying experience. I haven't been to an independent wrestling show in quite some time. Used to go to PWG and saw some of those guys go from PWG to either AEW or WWE, which is amazing to see. It's like seeing somebody that you follow just make it to the big time, and that's really really awesome. You know, and I'm gonna take back what I said, like on a few episodes where some athletes don't care about you. Some of them do, and to be honest, it's good. We should give them a little bit more respect, especially for wrestlers. They put their let me remove that. They put their bodies on. Again, I'm gonna repeat that. They put their health, mental health, everything like on the line for either quote unquote squash match, maybe a few minutes here, you know, 5, 10, 15 minutes. The rarities of the Iron Man match or something, a match going, 20 plus minutes, which is a beautiful thing to see if you ever witness one live. Um, you are experiencing something. And I hope you guys get that feeling when you go to your local indie shows. Look them up, Google them, GCW. They go across country. They'll do shows. You can catch them on Thriller. I believe it's called the Thriller app, and you can catch their shows there as well. Hopefully, I come out. I mean, look what happened there. Holy crap! And yeah, that was my week this week. It was fun. It was entertaining. From what I can tell you, it was great catching up with some old friends, especially family. I've been kind of low key, kind of just doing my thing, doing this here, trying to grow, and just like everything that they tell you, you gotta walk away, be a ghost sometimes, and see where it takes you. Because, and shout out to our friend Miguel, because what he said really, really did hit me really, really hard. He said, "There's a one thing." Say, because we were talking about wrestling, so he goes, it's one thing to love something, and then one thing to know about it, or another thing to know about it. Hopefully, I'm saying that right. But it stuck to me because you can love something, kind of like talk about it, but then does it really know it? It sounds better when you actually know something and you can explain it to somebody. And then I use the example. Well, I think I was wrong. Did I say it? Maybe not. Maybe I always tell this to my to my son. To be honest with you, as I'm playing around with my microphone, when you learn something and you're able to teach other people what you've learned, you have not only mastered what you know, you have the ability to share that with others. And yep, it was my son. What I tell my son is, people are going to disagree with you. Oh, that's okay. Sorry, my wrist. And you just got to communicate. You got to talk. Confronting is not a bad word. It's not like, oh man, I'm going to confront you. I'm going to, use fisticuffs. No, we're not going to fight. It's just we're going to talk things out. You might have one vision here. I got my vision here. Maybe we can meet somewhere in between, or we can agree to disagree. And that's the thing. We got to learn to communicate. We got to learn to support each other. And that hit me hard when Miguel said that, where you love something, there's one thing, but then there's another when you know it. So I want to know this again. I had my itch for wrestling for a very long time. I just never got, as I like to say, knee deep and shed into it, or neck deep. And basically, it's like falling into the rabbit hole of information, and bring that to light. And it was really, really cool. So got that going. And then going back to something that also sparked my interest and really gave me like reminiscing about VHS was the podcast with it was the Joe Rogan podcast. He interviewed I want to say it was Quentin Tarantino, and let me see here. Give me 1 second, guys. Oh no. You know what? It's like I don't know how to use a phone. Sorry. Roger Avery. There we go. and they were talking about VHSs like in the beginning of the segment. So I do highly recommend watching this podcast with Joe Rogan and his guests, Quentin Tarantino, Roger Avery, excuse me. And I just was taken back because when he was talking about like owning a video store, making a community, and he would talk about like movie suggestions. They were kind of like the Rotten Tomatoes of that time because they were the critics. They owned the video shop in Huntington. I believe it was Huntington Beach. Hopefully, I'm saying that correctly. But if not, again, go see the podcast. And then it reminded me of like the time where WWF or WWE now was it. It was the only game in town aside from WCW, which I was not aware of at the time. But at a young age, I would go to my local VHS. What is this that I'm stepping on? Sorry. My local, VHS, or videotape rental, and it was a Korean man. He knew that's all we would get. When it was my brother, my mom, or my dad, who rarely took us to go rent a movie, they would get their movie because they would have, Korean owner, so you would have some international stuff, which was great. My parents would get their Spanish. My brother and I, we would get wrestling tapes. So we would get the Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, WrestleManias, SummerSlams, the big four back in the day. And then this guy was so awesome. He would be like, hey guys, you guys want to check this out? Boom. He would give us like this Secrets of Wrestling. And it was like, I want to say it was kind of like filmed in Stu Hart's dungeon because they were like in a place that looked similar to that, like down in a basement. And they were just getting down and dirty. And they were just kind of like working on holds and just stretching each other apart. And that was awesome. We would return the videos back, and he would just suggest like, oh, we're gonna have this one coming in, yada yada yada, or have you guys seen this one? I think he exposed me and my brother to like other wrestling territories, even the territorial ones who were, you would have to scalp like VHS tapes here and there, but we would just see a little bit of everything, and it was just kind of like mind blowing. And that podcast, going back to it, just gave me like a general idea. It's like, hey, kid growing up, I love wrestling. Still enjoy it to this day to a certain extent. It wasn't as like, oh, I'm a big fanatic like I was back then, but it reminded me and it hit me that I think I mentioned this before, but I'll say it again. A friend of mine, Rafi, and I, with a couple of friends in high school, we did a empty auditorium match, and that was fun. I think it did touch some light about this and how it got me into editing and all this other great stuff, but also the information. And I got a couple of stories in regards to wrestling that I do want to touch base on, and I think I do have time. We'll do this one. It's not a knock on the guy. Nothing in it may come off negative, but this is the only interaction I had with this dude. Mick Foley. Remember those Sam Goody stores? We were in high school, and I believe his book, Have a Nice Day, came out. My friend Rafi bought a book. My brother bought a book. I didn't like the guy. Still don't. As a wrestler, maybe he could be a good person. Don't know. But as a wrestler, I was just like, okay, jumping off of rooftops and all this other good stuff. So we're waiting in line for a book signing. We're third, and we skip school, or I skipped school. I was waiting in line all day to save the spots. And, when the time came and they opened the doors, Mick Foley looks at me and he goes, hey, where's his book? He can't be in line if he doesn't have a book. Security guard goes and tells him that A book's not required. They never said that somebody had to have a book. He's just waiting in line for his friends. So Mick Foley looks and he goes, "Hey, you tell him to get out of here. You tell him to, doesn't no book, no nothing." Um, I was just like, dude, and I kind of went up to him because I heard him say that. And I'm like, oh, okay, maybe he's just joking or something. I go up to Mick Foley, I extend my hand, and he just kind of looks at me like this. No book, no nothing. I'm like, all right. And I just told him, like, all right, sorry. Just saving the spot for my brother and my friend. So, yeah, we're good. Security guard goes, "Are you okay?" Like, security guards are like the only ones who actually care, at this point. And then I just told him, like, "Hey, I'm gonna take a photo with you and my friend Rafi." He gives a big old smile when I take a photo with him and my friend Rafi, and they have like a little minute conversation about his name, like Rafi the singer, and yada yada yada. When it came to my brother's turn, one thing, he did not smile. He just kind of like shrugged him off, and he just signed his book and goes, "Yeah, you can go now with your brother." And that was pretty messed up, and I don't even know where that photo is. I think my brother still has it somewhere, but yeah, that was a weird, awkward interaction with Mick Foley. And you know, sometimes when you meet these people, you know who they really are, or maybe I don't think he was in character. I just think he needed the money from his crappy book. But neither here nor there. But yeah, that was my experience with him. And I'm not gonna say that like all experiences are bad. When I went to an independent wrestling show, this must have been like 7-8 years ago. I met Marty Scroll, and I just saw him. "Man, I'm nervous, meeting you here." And he goes, "Hey, do yourself a favor, lad." He goes, "He's from Britain, or he's English. Britain, English, same thing." He just said, "There's no need to be nervous. I'm just a regular person." He goes, "Yeah, And when he said that, great. Took a photo. Still have that on my Instagram. If you guys want to check out my Instagram, it's right there. Some of these wrestlers are really, really cool. Mind you, they're just human, just like all of us. And I'm telling you this because you can have a bad experience, but then somebody can, make it into a memorable one, give you great advice. Just don't be nervous. People are people. So, one, Mick Foley, wherever you are, I forgive you. That's all right. Next time I know, if I go to a type of signing or anything, I'll make sure I have merchandise. And then for people like Marty Scroll, who didn't even ask me to pay for a selfie, nowadays people just charge you for everything, but he was so fucking cool. Took a photo, and yeah, so good place in my heart for those two people, because you know what? Like I said earlier, these people put their bodies on the line, and who knows how bad Mick is after all those bumps. Ouch. Hopefully he's okay, and hopefully Marty, we can see you in a bigger spotlight. I know he's still in the Indies. I really wish he was in AEW. That'd be awesome. But I'm not the owner. So we're gonna leave it at that, guys. It was a great weekend. It was a great week. Really hyped up for what's to come. I'll see you guys on the next one. And remember, always believe in yourself, bet on yourself. Don't buy into that negativity. You can do this. I'm doing this, and all it takes is a microphone, a camera, and all we're doing is talking with each other. We're communicating. So let's see what we all got. Let's see what stories we got to tell. Let's see where we're at, and support each other. And that's the big thing. So do good, be good, do no harm to others. I'll catch you on the next one. Have a great week.